Good day, you absolute legends. Welcome back to another edition of Cynical Thoughts, the unscripted show where I talk about everything No Man's Sky and or Hello Games related. Now, in today's video, I want to discuss the fact that with the Game Awards, we never actually seen the Light No Fire trailer announcement that was kind of speculated very heavily that was going to happen in the Game Awards this year round. However, that never happened. But strangely enough, Hello Games, Mr. Murray, and quite a big portion of the team were actually at the Game Awards that were being hosted in America. But why did they turn up if they weren't going to announce anything? That's the strangeness. So we're going to talk about that today as well as some other things. But before we do get into today's video, as always, can I please just ask you just to double check that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel. If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe. Or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to cover today. So let's get right on into today's video. So as we know, the Game Awards has just happened and Hello Games, Mr. Murray, and everyone else was all there and present. Now, at first, obviously, we can say, well, they was at the Game Awards because they received the nomination for best community support or whatever the case may be, and that's why they was there. But why would you travel all that way just to win a single reward? It seems a little bit out of depth. Now, at the time, a lot of people speculated within the community, including yours truly, that basically, you know, like this time last year at the last Game Awards, we had the Light No Fire announcement. I mean, it was massive. And we thought with them all going this year that we might get an update because, as we all know, with Light No Fire, we've actually not had an update really since, like, at all. It's been utter radio silence, as with the case with Hello Games. So when they all went, and we kind of thought maybe there's going to be something a bit more to this, and obviously the Game Awards happened, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. There wasn't even any point where Mr. Murray was up on stage, as far as I know of, where he even spoke about No Man's Sky or anything. So there was no information whatsoever. So it kind of now leaves to everyone thinking, well, what's actually happening with Light No Fire? Has there been maybe some sort of setback? Who knows? Now, the community still feels very strongly that Light No Fire will be coming out still in 2025. I mean, even I still think that. However, there still needs to be a trailer with the release date or something, some kind of promotional material to kind of set the time frame, the anticipation, the build up to the anticipation. There still is a whole PR thing that Hello Games still needs to go down, and we've still not had that yet. So, I mean, we are getting closer and closer to the time of release, and yet nothing. And the thing is as well, even on Mr. Murray's Twitter, he actually reshared something that I thought was rather interesting. Now, one of the lead developers, or the main guy that makes the game Power World, actually said over on Twitter that he was shy to approach Mr. Murray because they've seen each other at the Game Awards, because he wanted to get, like, you know, a picture or whatnot, an autograph or whatever the case may be, but also to ask, and this is what he actually said, to ask for an early beta for Light No Fire. Now, that's coming from the developer or owner of Power World. So the fact is, it's still being mentioned in circles, but still nothing from Hello Games. I find it rather frustrating, to be honest with you, at this moment in time. Now, if we go back to, for example, 2016, there remain, you know, utter silence on a lot of things because of the rocky launch that No Man's Sky had. But it wasn't so much that No Man's Sky had a rocky launch, it's the utter backlash from the community that happened after the launch of No Man's Sky. I mean, the team was getting investigated by, you know, governing bodies for fraudulent claims. I believe there was also death threats as well made towards Mr. Murray and the game studio at the time as well. I mean, just a lot of really gnarly stuff. So I can kind of understand the radio silence and why they would be apprehensive in giving some sort of promotional material. But at the same time, that was also 2016, and they've completely grown and developed themselves as a game studio since that time. Yes, they made their mistakes. Yes, they burnt a lot of bridges at that time, but they made up for it, and they definitely have rebuilt them bridges bigger than better before. However, I still feel like the apprehension of obviously announcing, especially a new game since No Man's Sky, it's like the next game that they are introducing, really. I mean, and we can make the argument that they've obviously had The Last Campfire, but that was like a very small game in comparison to the next big label that Hello Games is hopefully thinking to themselves that it's going to be like either a contender or the next upgrade to No Man's Sky, even though it's different genres. But as a company standpoint, that's probably the way that they're thinking about this. It's going to be the predecessor to No Man's Sky, so maybe they are being a bit more apprehensive, probably more than they should be. But I'm hoping that over the next month or so that we will get some information regarding Light No Fire, and I cannot wait for that eventual announcement. Now, the next topic I'm going to touch upon very quickly, but I have already done 2 videos about it, so I will keep it brief. It's just more of an update of it, or should I say lack thereof. Now, just a very quick recap. As we know, there's a lot of controversy right now, backlash for the team at Hello Games, Mr. Murray, and No Man's Sky as a whole. And it's all to do with the gifting of only Steam players of a certain reskin of a ship and not everybody else on console. It's not about the ship, it's about the message it sends as a whole, yada, yada, yada. Now, obviously, this has now been going on for quite a number of days now, and you know, I've been very vocal about it. A lot of content creators have been very vocal about it. The comment section for Mr. Murray's post over on Twitter's have also been very vocal about it. However, we would have thought that maybe we would have had some response by now from the team at Hello Games with maybe an update on the plans on what they're going to do about the situation, and, you know, maybe just to clarify it, if they weren't going to obviously let everyone have this particular reskin of a ship, but maybe just to kind of, you know, reach out to the community and basically try and reword the way that they launched the ship to begin with, because it was very poorly worded with the promotional material that they did put out. However, I do feel like this time round, I don't think we are going to hear anything off Hello Games, to be fair. And I've been thinking about this over the last 24 hours. Is Hello Games really going to come out and address this issue when, yeah, they could address the issue, but also, you know, you can't please everybody. So they might say something that puts the tensions at ease for a good group of people. However, it could also ignite the fire for the other group of people that wasn't already there before. You know, it is what it is. So I think in this case, the team are just going to opt for radio silence because they can't please anybody, and they'll risk damaging the whole thing even more by saying something now at this point anyway. So they probably won't say anything, to be fair. And we'll just kind of see by actions, I guess, with them on what they're going to do. So, you know, when the next kind of like patch update comes out, or the next update in general, or even like, you know, the next expedition, we'll see if that ship is then included in the next expedition, the next, you know, patch update, whether or not it just gets automatically unlocked. Because, like I said, the team usually go by actions rather than words. They'd rather just do it rather than tell you what they're going to do. It's just the way that they run. It is what it is. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the kind of scoop of everything today. I wanted to talk about the Light No Fire like update stuff, because we're not really spoken about Light No Fire as such in depth on this channel for a while. And obviously I wanted to give you a quick update regarding the latest controversy in No Man's Sky. So there we go. Hopefully everyone's up to date. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you before I do let you go today to my Patreon and YouTube members. And if you're watching this here today, you like what I do and you want to support the channel any more, then feel free to click on my Patreon linked in the video description down below. It starts off at a completely free tier, or it does go to subsequential tiers from there. and it really does help me out as a channel. Or alternatively, you can go ahead and join my YouTube, which is somewhere below this video. It just says join. And that starts off at a price of a cup of coffee. And again, it really does help this channel and keep on doing what it is that I do here. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, just leaving a like on this video, subscribing and or commenting is more than enough. But if you do go down the extra route today, I just want to say a massive thank you from myself in advance. But that's where I'm going to leave you today. Thank you all very much for watching. And as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.